them take advantage of the internet without violating any of the regulations that harness them from doing what the rest of us do all day long.
Wow, well, welcome. 25 years of experience across various industries, Jillian Crandall excels in blending the vintage flair and cutting-edge business strategies. Her focus is in empowering leaders to embrace the future, utilizing groundbreaking tools such as artificial intelligence and automation to enhance business efficiency and capitalize on competitive advantages. As a seasoned strategist and coach, Jillian demystifies complex concepts and technologies, guiding businesses in strategic, boy, I should have brought my readers, AI implementation and digital transformation. Her approach not only modernizes operations, but also crafts unique, impactful strategies tailored to the challenges of a rapidly evolving business landscape.
Yeah, I made that challenging for you.
No, I made it challenging for myself. So anyway, let's go ahead and welcome Jillian Crandall. Welcome.
Thank you. So I originally sent this bio to Christine when I was still Jillian Crandall. I've actually just become Jillian McKee, so I got married. So it's kind of like I'm in that transitionary period where everyone's known me as Jillian Crandall for like 25, 26 years. So yeah, becoming Jillian McKee now. I always like to start every AI presentation by asking the people who are physically here. I know everybody joining us online probably can't chime in, but where are you at? Are you guys using AI regularly? Do I have any newbies? Don't know anything. Okay, so I have some newbies. So we're going to be a mix of a couple of different things. We're going to start out with basics. But what I love is that I can have even the people who are using it every day leave here with something helpful. So we are going to launch right in and talk about some free AI tools that are worth checking out. And sorry, today I'm using a different computer, so I have a little bit different, setup. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to start out talking about AI just in general, talking about a couple of different things that it can do. We'll talk about foundational models, and I'll give you a good definition for what that is. We'll have a free tool showcase, so I'll go through a couple of different tools. We'll talk a little bit about how to choose the right tools as you start to put these into your business. And then we'll have a little question and answer period at the end. Okay, so the very first thing that we need to talk about is what is AI? And I like to start out by talking about these kind of foundational models that were created. So AI has been just dominating news up until, new stuff has been dominating news. It is an election year after all. But the reason that AI has been around since the 50s, but this newer AI is generative AI, and it's really, really brought AI into this whole news cycle. And what it does is you can give it a text prompt. You can just write, like texting a friend, you could write a question to it, and it will generate brand new output for you that's never been seen before on the internet. So created for you for the very, very first time. And those are all done through something that I like to call foundational models. These are our chat GPTs, our Google Gemini, those kind of big ones that we've heard a lot about. ChatGPT was created by OpenAI, and OpenAI was Microsoft invested in OpenAI, and that is how they came about to have enough funding to release this whole ChatGPT. So Microsoft owns 49% of OpenAI. So that's why we see so much of that coming out. ChatGPT was made public and available for us all to go and set up our accounts on November 30th, 2022. That is when the firestorm started, right? And we never heard the end of it. these are really, these foundational models, I would say, are the ultimate freebie models. You can go and set up an account. They're open source. You can get so much out of them because they can do a million different they're not fine-tuned to any specific thing. What these are called are large language models. I like to explain large language models in terms of electric cars. When I say electric car, who here's already thought about a Tesla? Most people, right? So ChatGPT is our household name, our Tesla of the electric car kind of area, right? But all of these different foundational models that I will show you a couple of different ones here in a moment, just like an electric car, they all work the same. You plug them in, and that's how you get your electricity. But they have different reasons why you would choose them, different features, benefits, advantages, abilities, etc. Just like electric cars. So ChatGPT is kind of like our top of the line one. And the reason why it's a foundational model is because they can be fine-tuned and built for a specific use case. And that is when we get into the tool showcase. I'll show you a lot of those tools are built using the foundational model on the back end, but it's a little less DIY. Like you don't have to figure out what you're doing. If you wanted to, get a script for YouTube out of ChatGPT, you need to start out and be like, I would like to get a script for YouTube. Here is what I want it to accomplish. Here are the things. Here's the tone of voice I want. Whereas if you have a tool that was built specifically for that, you're just going to be like, here's the topic for my YouTube video, and it's going to output that. So we're actually going to spend a couple of times. I'm going to give a few examples of what you can do in ChatGPT and Gemini here in just a moment. But that is the general basis. Do I have everybody who's brand new kind of feeling okay with that definition? Okay. Let's move on to, these are the three foundational models that we're going to talk about today. There's a lot more than this, but these are kind of the three that are good to know right now. So there are lots of companies just like electric cars. There's lots of them out there. So we're going to talk about ChatGPT because it's that household name, that one that kind of everybody knows. And I do want to let you guys know at the end, I have a downloadable list where you guys don't have to scribble all these down. You'll be able to actually just scan a QR code and have a downloadable list that has all of these tools listed. So ChatGPT is the first one that we're going to talk about. This is kind of our workhorse. You can do pretty much anything in ChatGPT. If you want it to retone things, if you wanted to create different pieces of content for you, you can definitely use that. We have Gemini, which is Google's version of ChatGPT. It used to be called Google Bard, and now it is called Google Gemini. And then we have one that not a lot of people have heard of, but it is fantastic. It's called Perplexity AI, and it is my favorite for research. So let's go through all of these individually, and then we'll pop over and do a little quick demo in a couple of them. So ChatGPT, the first one here is, like I said, the one that we hear the most about. It is very, very large as far as the amount of data that it has in it. The way that these are made, they're a large language model, and the way a large language model is made is that they gather up all of this writing, right? A large, huge corpus of text that they have trained into the model. This includes books, blogs, white papers, all of our encyclopedias, all of the things that are out there. And they have trained the model on all of this information. So it is an expert on the best way to, do your laundry, and it's an expert on the best way to create a marketing plan, right? It is an expert on absolutely everything out there because of the amount of stuff that has been trained into the back end. In my opinion, ChatGPT, out of these three language models that we're looking at today, is the best at creative tasks. So if you want, it has so much language built into the back end that if I said, we're going to do this in a moment, 25 ideas on a name for a dog bakery, it's going to give me 25 ideas. And in my opinion, they are so different than the other 24. Like they're all creative, right? Sometimes if I were to go to a Google Gemini and say, I want 25 ideas on a dog bakery. I might get 10 that include the word hound, and I'm not getting as much creativity throughout those 25. So in my opinion, this is the one to go to if you want really, really creative content. If you're trying to get something that's a little outside the box, it seems to pull it in, and that is just based on how much has been trained into the back end, how much content is in there in the training model. So I really like this one for brainstorming, making those catchy, fun headlines, and just taking it a little bit outside of the box. So I'm going to go through the other ones, and then we'll hop over because I don't want to do a ton of hop back and forth. So I'm going to go through the Gemini and talk about what I like it for, and then we'll go visit all three of them and take a look at them. Okay, so Gemini for me, I love this for organizing my ideas. So I like to just ramble into my phone, and then I do that to Gemini, and it will organize all of those ideas and put them into a structure that makes sense. So these are all the things I want to talk about. This is how I want to do it, like blah, blah, blah. These are all the ideas. I was thinking it would be cool for it to be blue. I don't know, whatever rambling I have, and Gemini is going to come through, and it does a really great job organizing. And the reason why I like it for this use is that it also is the best at suggesting gaps. So if I go in and I say, here's my plan for an event, and I've given it just this whole long, I don't know, diatribe of randomness, it'll be like, have you thought, here's your organization, and then at the end, it usually gives me did you think about maybe partnering with a dog bakery for that event because it's pets in the park, right? So it'll usually give me some extra things to think of and look at where some gaps are missing in my plan. The other thing that's really, really great about Google Gemini is that it is integrated with all of the Google products. So it's really nice if you're using Google Workspace for your business. It works really, really well, and it's not a lot of switching back and forth. It's super integrated. And then the last one that not very many people use on a constant basis, but I think is fantastic, is Perplexity AI. This is like a super powered search engine. It was earlier this year, they were like, oh my gosh, it's going to give Google search a run for its money. Then Google was like, no, we have a Google powered search engine, and it's kind of been back and forth. But I think that it is a fantastic, fantastic option. It's also free, works just like ChatGPT or Gemini, where you enter in a prompt and you're able to get some stuff back. But it's much, much beyond that basic search engine. So if you wanted to ask something, which we'll do here in a moment, of what do we expect mortgage rates to do in the remainder of the year, it's going to, number one, it can write that content for me, but it will also give me a list of like different articles, and it will cite them all for me. So I can see what article it was. Was it Forbes that said that we're going to see, mortgage rates at this, or was it, Betty's blog or something? So we get to see exactly where that information is coming from, which is a little bit harder with the other large language models. And I also like that it suggests how you can dive deeper into that topic. So I'll show you that here in a second too. Okay, so let's actually escape out of this, and I'm going to come right over here and grab ChatGPT. Sorry, I thought I was logged into it. Okay, so this is what ChatGPT looks like when you arrive at it. Like I said, it works just like a, I'm going to step right over here so that I can see what I'm typing for a moment. I'm going to be very, very close to the online people. But we're going to type right in here and just say, I want to open a dog bakery. I need 26 ideas for a catchy name. Now, there are very specific ways that you should prompt this. I always tell people in live presentations, do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so we have prompt guides. If you need help figuring out how to craft a prompt, I can help you with that after. I didn't put that as part of this. But there are things that you should do. I just know that I would get something that would show well for this by using this. So you'll see we have a whole bunch of different ideas for dog bakery names. We have 26 of them here. And let's see, which one do we like? Let's do Sniff and Snack. So I'm going to tell it, I like number 15. Can you please create a list of 30 treats for the menu? And it'll come in and give me the 30 treats of the menu. Now, something that I absolutely love is that these tools use natural language processing. They were trained on our language. And so when you make a lot of typos, it can usually figure it out. My 8th grade teacher, Mrs. Lenton, would say it uses its context clues, right, to figure out what I meant by that. So now here I have 30 dog treats that I could have in my menu. And then I could tell it, I need a recipe for 6 and 7. And now it's going to go out there and create, here's a recipe for how to make these dog treats for your new bakery that you just made up a second ago. So you can see how this can take you from a quick idea and help you build it completely out all the way. You look very surprised. Are you excited about this? I know, right? It's a little bit scary. It's a little bit exciting. So that is ChatGPT. Like I said, really great at a lot of things. There is a very particular prompt, like template that you would want to follow, like best practices for how to ask it for things to get the best response. So I have a whole class on how to use ChatGPT and these large language models if you're interested. But we're actually going to put a pause on ChatGPT. We're going to hop over to Google Gemini, very much the same here. But if we do the exact same prompt to start a dog bakery, I need 25 names, please. Okay. Okay, it did really good because I typed really bad there. So it actually, I've been kind of surprised as of recent. It has gotten a little bit more creative. They're constantly adding more data into the training data, so we start to see better things. But you'll see down here, if I say, what should I have on the menu? It will go ahead and give me those things. And then a lot of times it'll give me that little summary that I mentioned at the bottom to, yes, like consider these variations. Here's some additional tips that you should have. So like I said, it'll like kind of identify some of those gaps that you might have in your thinking and help you figure those out. The other thing that I love about Gemini is that included in their free plan is the ability to, I didn't pick a name, so I gotta pick a name. Let's go called the Wagging Whisk. So the free plan will actually create images for you, but it's asking me if I like this. And I'm gonna say, yes, please create. Okay, so it'll go in there and create a logo for me just from asking it to create it. That one is weird. That one is really weird. Can you create one that shows a dog and the whisk? And it'll come in here and create it. There is a better way to prompt this where you'll get better results, but obviously in live demos, it's a little bit hard. So there we go. This could be my logo for the Wagging Whisk. Now I have a lot of graphic designers and creators who hate that this exists, but I will say it's not perfect, and you're also getting a good idea of what you want to then go work with a designer. It helps us kind of, if we're not inclined on that artistic side, to be able to communicate what our vision is. We can keep asking some different things. Yes. Yeah. So you do have to do all of that stuff. So it's not a one size fit, like it's not a magic pill that solves everything. It's a brainstorming partner. It's a partner to help you get a little bit further. Now, as far as copyright on what comes out of this and copyright on the images created, that is a very, very common question that I get. So copyright is on created images. They say that it is fine for me, Jillian, to use an image that was created by one of these models. Now, the only one that I know of at this time, and I'm telling you guys, this stuff changes every single day. So I could, like, you never know. There might be one that creates these images. Right now, the only one that I know that creates images on the free plan is Gemini. But over on the paid plan, DALL-E, part of ChatGPT, does that as well. All of the creators of these models have come out to say, so we're talking about OpenAI, who made ChatGPT, Gemini, made by Google, has said, if you, Jillian, get sued for using an image that you created using one of our models, we will represent you in court. So it's using what it knows. It's using training data. So you're not, the way that it works, I actually had to look this up. I took like a whole class on Stable Diffusion. It was ridiculous. So it takes all of these images and it breaks it down by pixels and then rebuilds it. So I will tell you, I'm a vintage pinup model, family friendly. Vintage pinup model, and I was, for my pinup club, I was trying to create a logo in ChatGPT, and I was like, okay, I want a logo, and I was looking at the output, and I was like, this looks just like Vegas Pinups logo. So you do kind of have to check and make sure, but it can help you kind of visualize, and that's why I would still recommend not using this as your logo, but as a way to help you communicate with a designer. Like, this is kind of the vibe I'm going for. This is the look I'm going for. As far as, let me give another example. Let's just make something fun. We're going to add a new chat, and we're going to say an elephant and a turtle, oops, an elephant and a turtle having coffee near a waterfall in the style of Van Gogh. Okay, so when it creates this, I could use this as something on social media, and I don't have fear of using it for copyright. I wouldn't recommend with logos. I would use logos as that, but if I wanted to make a post that's somehow related to this weird thing that I just made up, I could take one of these images, use it on my social media, and I would be okay. And if somebody said, hey, you violate, like, that's a copyrighted image, they would represent me in court if I got sued for it. Let's also talk about, my copyright answer is 3 parts. So that's me using this image that came out of it. Let's step back a moment. There are lots of open lawsuits about photographers and artists suing the creators of the model, saying, you violated my copyright as an artist by training your model with my copyrighted work. So those are open and ongoing, but don't exactly affect us, right? And then I have one final answer to that. If I decide to use this turtle, elephant, coffee drinking thing on my social media, and you grab it off of my Facebook post and you make it into a t-shirt, do I have any say on that at all? And the answer is no, because our intellectual property rights have said, prior to Gen AI being on the scene, that in order to claim intellectual property rights on something, it has to be human generated or have significant human changes made to it. So I'm not a copyright lawyer, but that is my short answer on those. Okay, so now we're going to go over here to Perplexity AI, which is the last one. This is the one that I was mentioning. It is really, really great about research. So let me put in here, what are we thinking mortgage rates will do in Q3 and Q4 2024? Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, it still figured it out somehow. Okay, so here's our answer. We got a little chart. We also have for Q3, it's showing me that the Mortgage Bankers Association predicts this. Here are the articles that it pulled from. So I have a Business Insider article that I can open up and read and see if I think that that's a great source. And then, as I was saying, like, it's a great research partner because it will help you by saying, here's some related ideas and topics. Do you want to know how inflation trends impact mortgage rates in the second half? Let's see. And now I'm going to have those results. So it can kind of help you dig deeper into learning a topic that you don't know as much about, or if you need to get more information on. Now, all of these, what I just showed you, those are all available in the free plan. There are paid plans of all of these that get you deeper knowledge, more tools, different ways to do things. But those are all available in those free plans. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are you giving us? What data are we sharing?
Yes. Oh, yes. In the free plans, what data are we giving up? I would not put any proprietary data into any of those models. I would definitely not share that because there's been some differing stances, and I would have to check each one and where they're at today on their stuff. But I would not put any proprietary data into a free version of any of these, because you could be at risk of exposing your proprietary data. Yeah. Yes.
So I know my husband, is like correcting
Yes.
Gemini on occasion, going, hey, that's not right. You know, you need to look
Yes.
at this.
They can do something called hallucinate, which is providing completely inaccurate information, right? I like to give an example. There are actually two examples I like to give. The first one, in the early days of ChatGPT, a lawyer used ChatGPT to write a motion for court. He was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. Copy, paste, print, like showed up at court, turned it in, like did the whole thing. His argument had 5 cases that supported his argument. Those cases did not exist. So he lost his license to practice law in the state of New York. So if you are a licensed professional, you are responsible for what you put out, even if ChatGPT makes it up for you. So I talk about this all the time. You know, I just came from a real estate, like I am very much in the real estate industry. And as licensed professionals in real estate and mortgage, like you are responsible for what comes out of your mouth. You have to make sure that it's accurate. So this is a helper. It is not a magic cure-all. The other thing to kind of know is just inherent bias. A lot of these models are working so hard to combat this, but they were trained on all of our text. So think about a book from, I don't know, 1920. Is it going to have the type of language that would be appropriate right now in 2024? Maybe not, right? That inherent bias still is going to exist because it has existed, right? Another thing that they're trying to work on is if I asked for images of people experiencing imposter syndrome, I'm going to get mostly images of women. Probably exclusively images of women, right? They're constantly trying to combat that. Men experience it, but women talk about it more. So you're going to find that. If I asked for images that showed CEOs, I'm going to see images that are mostly white males, because over the big period of time of information that it's been trained on, that has been the case. While we may have more things changing at this point, it hasn't been the case for a long period of time.
So can you provide a prompt
Yes.
to
You could.
reflect some of that bias?
You can, yes. So I definitely have that prompt framework of like, hey, like I want a diversified set of things. So that is all in prompt engineering, which is like a huge, that could be a class in and of itself, to be completely honest. So any other questions on these guys, these kind of foundational models that are the ultimate freebies, because you could do anything with them. You could make, you know, your social media posts, you could have it do complicated math, you can have it analyze data, you can have it retone information. One of my favorite things to show off is you can turn your content into like a Britney Spears themed song if you wanted to get famous on TikTok or something. Who here wants to be famous on TikTok?
I don't.
You're like, no.
I'm curious if there's one that you think does a better job of analyzing data, or that will create images, charts, graphs.
So sometimes the images and charts and graphs are a little difficult because the images do not do well at a couple of different things. Number one, text. It does terrible at text. I'm actually amazed that when we did that little logo example that it wasn't like gobbledygook text. It's also really bad at faces and hands. And you'll see in a moment when I show you something else, I used AI to create an image, and the faces, there's like of some people in the audience, and the faces are like horror movie faces. But I would say, I don't know, it depends on the type of data that you're looking to analyze. And if you're trying to just put it into usable ways, I would probably try it in a couple and see. I would probably lean towards just not knowing exactly which data you're looking at. I would probably lean towards Gemini or Perplexity just to kind of see how it brings it out for me. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on to this one. And so sorry, I need to step over here so that I can get back into presenter mode. Okay, so we covered those 3 foundational models. Now there are so many more. These are just the 3 top ones that I chose for this presentation. I could be here all day, but we only have like 40 minutes. All right, so we're going to talk about writing and content creation tools. These are the free tools. Now, free tools is tough because all of those foundational models, yes, you can go access those for free. But if you want to build an app and you want to use ChatGPT in the background, ChatGPT is charging you for doing that as a company. So you're not going to find many free AI tools that are fine-tuned for a specific thing because that company has to pay ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever model they're using. So the rest of these are lots of free tools within a probably paid tool. You're probably going to upgrade if you find use in this, but there are some really great things that you can get out of just what they're offering for free. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to talk about Canva. Who here uses Canva? I mean, it's Canva, right? You can do everything with it. Gamma.app is one of my favorites to show off because so many people love it. And then Grammarly, who here uses Grammarly? It's been around for a long time. So you can take your text, put it into Grammarly, and it will help you make it sound professional and take out your likes and ums, which I think are so charming on my part. Okay, so Canva, like I said, it is free. It's a free tool that's probably my top free tool out of everything that exists out there, AI or not. But you'll see right here that you get AI generated writing and designs as a freebie here in Canva. Now you'll see on the paid program over here, you can boost your creativity with 20+ AI tools if you pay for the paid version of Canva, which if it works into your budget and you're going to use it at all, that $10 a month, probably best $10 a month that you can spend. So I'm going to show you the free design creation. We're going to pause this for a second. I did not want to risk that we had technical issues, so I put some little videos in here. So what I'm doing over on the left on the video is creating from scratch, using the AI tool to create this video that's on the right. And all that you have to do is go into create video. It asks you to select at least 3 images. You can select up to 10. So I just selected 3. And then it's giving me a little prompt. It says, what type of video would you want? And I said that I wanted a fun video on how to become a public speaker. So I'm just typing that in. And once it has that prompt, it goes ahead and pulls those 3 images or up to 10 images into a quick little video. It sets it does all of the animation for you. It sets music to the background, and then it uses AI to write all of the captions on the pages for you automatically. So you'll see it made it right over there. And here is the finished product. And then it also pulled in my logo because I had that set up in my brand kit in Canva. So all of that was from that little prompt on the left. Now, I can go through this little video that it created. I can move the boxes, just like you can with anything else in Canva. You can change the words, you can change the boxes, you could add extra scenes, you could move them around, zoom in, zoom out on pictures, anything else, but it gets you from nothing to a video like that. So, yes, yep, you can upload your own images. So I do have a full class on Canva as well, which is, you know, it's such a great tool because you can upload your own images. And if you, even in the free plan, I think you have access to 1 million stock images. And then in the paid plan, that's like something ridiculous, like 30 million stock images, or like every image that exists on the planet, it seems like. But then you can add, you know, change text, change font, change colors, whatever you need to do. You can do this not only with videos, you can do this with social media posts. So you could say, I want a Facebook post, upload the images that it does. It will put them into a collage for you, give you some sample Facebook posts. And you can also do it with presentation in their free AI tool. So if you said, I need a presentation on how to garden, and here are 5 images, it's going to create the slides for you that you can then go in and modify with all of the content and data on it. The other AI tool in Canva that I really like is in their Magic Studio. They have a lot of image editing things available in the paid plan, but this one is available in the free plan. I took this photo, which was pretty boring, and I was like, you know, I want to punch it up with a little color. So I decided that these pillows would look really good red. So I just went into Magic Studio and I'm highlighting them. And then I can just type into the little AI box right there, make the pillows red. And it's going to give me 4 AI generated options for red pillows that it's going to have. So you'll see over on the left, it's creating those little red pillow options for me. See, it takes a little while sometimes with AI, which is why I wanted to make sure that we didn't like not get a result while we're sitting here. So here are my red pillows. I didn't notice when I made this video that I missed a corner, but overall pretty convincingly looks like they're actually red pillows. So you can really quickly modify some images and make them pop a little bit. I did one more, which was, I was like, you know, let's step this up another notch. Let's put a big piece of art in the background. So I just told it that I wanted an abstract piece of art with some red in it. And now it is creating, I think I said a large piece of art, and I just highlighted where I wanted it to show up. And so it gave me 4 options for art. That one's weird. That one is kind of missing part of the frame. That one's too boring, so I went with this one. Now, this is the dumbest AI we'll ever have, so we have to realize that sometimes it's not exactly perfect, but that all happened in less than like 3 minutes. I was able to make both of those things and change this photo around. So those are just the free tools in Canva that are available right now. Paid tools, like I said, there's 20 plus paid tools in AI tools in Canva. So before and after. All right, let's talk about my next tool, which is gamma.app. Again, this is a product that you get some free and you can upgrade and get paid as well. Gamma.app is for the people who think Canva is a little too hard, okay, and you need a presentation. For me, I have been making content for 25 plus years. I am a control freak. I need it to look exactly the way it is. And I kind of struggle like giving up my content creation as part of my process. Like I need to be creating it as I'm deciding what I'm saying. So for me, I haven't been able to, what happened to did I go too far? Did I get them in the wrong order? Hold on. Well, what Gamma does is it is able to, with one little prompt, you're able to create a full presentation. What did I do? Yeah, I mixed up the order. My apologies, you guys. I was moving some stuff around last night. So here's my Gamma app. So there is a free trial kind of on this. You're able to get 400 credits. 400 credits is 10 presentations. So for me, that's a free tool because you can have up to 10 presentations on it. So I just did a guide to getting started raising backyard chickens as my presentation that I wanted Gamma to create. And it will go in and give me an outline of this is everything that you would want to cover in your presentation about backyard chickens. All I gave it was that one sentence, a guide on backyard chickens. It's now telling me, like, here's your outline. You can move pieces around so that you can cover different topics. You can add extra cards to it, which would be like an extra slide, which I think I did, which was selling farm fresh eggs, how to sell your farm fresh eggs. There's one thing that it created in here. It said to start slow with 3 to 5 chickens. This would have been helpful a year and a half ago for me because I have 13. So, yeah, they're, oh man, those chickens. And then you can choose how much text is on the slide. You can choose, you know, do you want AI generated images or do you want it to search images, like real images online? You can give it different style guides. Like I wanted it to be fun and like kind of kitschy in the creation. So I just kind of gave it like a few extra things. And then you just click generate and it will make your entire presentation for you. It tells you that this will take, for that, there were 10 slides on there, I think. So it took 40 credits to make that. You get 400 with your free account. That's a one-time. Really editable. So you can go in there, you can use AI to edit it, which I do here in just a moment. You can choose from all of these different preset styles. So if you have a certain look or feel that you want it to have, you can just select the style that you want. And then here in a second, sorry, my computer yesterday while I was recording and trying to do AI was kind of like struggling a little bit as I was putting this one together. So it's a little slow, but you can edit by actually typing in there, or you can ask the AI to change up the slide, which I do here in just a moment. AI changes take a couple extra credits each time. So if you are doing a lot of AI changes, you could use up some of those free credits pretty fast. So if you were going to change one word on the slide, I would suggest typing it rather than using the AI to change out the one word. But it will come in here and make you that entire presentation. Let's see if we can skip ahead a little bit on there. What? You can. Yep, you can upload images, you can change them out, you can change the background, but it makes your full presentation right in here. So the app decided these. All that I typed in was that one sentence and everything else has been going other than selecting the color theme. That's the only other thing that I did. So yeah.
What format is the final product in?
You can make it a PDF, or I think you can also download it as as individual PNGs if you need to. Yep. So let's skip ahead just a little bit in it because it's so slow. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what I did there. Let's go back over here to my presentation. I skipped ahead a bunch of slides, you guys. But yes, our final presentation. Let's just skip ahead in this little video. We'll go right here. Okay, so no, I didn't like that. Come here. Not letting me go forward, but you get a full presentation. Let's see if we can just click over here and have it go forward. Nope, it doesn't want to do it for me. But you can just ask the AI to edit a slide. There was one that said, and it was incorrect. It said, oh, as soon as you get your eggs from your chickens, wash them, which if you have farm fresh eggs, you're not supposed to wash them because it removes the bloom. So I told the AI, like, that is incorrect information. Please redo it. It made me a new slide where it didn't do that. Okay, so we are going to go back to the slide that we're actually supposed to be on, which is right here. Okay, so the last one is Grammarly, and I was going to live demo Grammarly, but I had trouble logging in. Sorry. So Grammarly, you can take a piece of writing that you did if you wrote a letter to somebody or something, you can upload it to Grammarly. It will then look at your letter and suggest, like, it's better than spell check. It'll be like, here's some improvements. Here's how you can make it more readable. You want to make it a 12th grade level. You want to make it college level, and it will help you just go in there and suggest those things. So that is a completely free tool. There is upgrades to it. I actually have never had to use the upgrade. I thought that the free tool gets you everything that you need. So it's definitely one to check out. And I am also very long-winded today, so I wouldn't have time to demo it anyway. How are we on time? What time are we supposed to wrap up? Like right now. Okay, cool. Well, I have two other ones to show you. So Taskade and Otter AI. Taskade, super cool tool. It is great for project management. So I will wrap up in the next 5 minutes. I got this. There's a free plan, which gives you some AI credits. There's a paid plan, and then there's like a big paid plan. The 5 AI requests is actually a little misleading. I feel like they could work a little bit better on their marketing on this, because you can have it do a few things for you more than those 5 requests. They have a couple of different AI things going on. So the AI basics and AI automation are really robust without those 5 extra credits. Those 5 extra credits are if you wanted to get those 25 ideas or like a lot of bigger things, or have it help you do some things. But I have a little sample video here as well. So this is one of the screens in there. It works very much like any project management tool where you can collaborate with the rest of your team, assign things, have dates, etc. So I took world domination off the completed list, put it back in progress, because I'm not quite done yet. And then I asked the AI to brainstorm a whole bunch of things for me, and that doesn't use one of those credits. So you'll see I went in to use the AI, and it lets you do the brainstorm, outline, a couple of different things. If you wanted to make it SEO, that's going to use one of the credits, but your brainstorm isn't going to use a credit. So you've got some different options in there, but it's really, really great for if you're going to create a open house and you want a checklist of all of the things that you need to do beforehand. It'll create it right in the task management system, and then you can go and assign them out. So really cool product here. Learning curve on this one, it's a little busy, right? So it can take a little bit, but once you've got the hang of it, it's really, really easy to use, but it is a little busy when you first get in there. Last one I want to mention is Otter AI. This is fantastic. It will join, who here has used Otter? Okay, we got 2 people. It will join your Zoom, your Microsoft Team meeting, your Google Hangouts meeting, and it will take notes, transcribe everything. Wow. And then it can summarize. So on the free plan, you get, I think, 300 monthly minutes, which is 30 minutes per conversation. Now, if you have an hour-long meeting, it doesn't stop recording, but it only transcribes the first 30 minutes. On the paid plan, it'll transcribe the whole thing, and you get like more minutes. You can get up to 90 minutes on that one. So it just goes in there and transcribes the whole thing. I attended a meeting by myself yesterday, and I took it out. So I set up a meeting and attended my own meeting so that you could see that it would transcribe everything that you said. And then you can ask the AI questions about the transcription. And that really kind of goes more into that paid plan where you have more options, where you could say, well, what happened during this? What did Sally say? What did Bob say? Etc. But I was in a meeting by myself. So last things that I want to talk about is, remember, free isn't everything, right? So I showed you a bunch of free tools, but if you have a problem, paying for solving it will sometimes be the best solution. So it's fun to check out some free things and check it out, but there's a lot of times functionality that you're going to miss out on. So definitely consider other options as well. So how do you go about choosing in this giant vortex of all of these crazy AI tools that are out there? First, sit down and figure out what you need to accomplish rather than finding a tool and figuring out how to use it. Figure out what you need and then find the tool. Or you get lost in and you have 900 trial subscriptions. I'm guilty. The guys saw my email box earlier. Be sure and consider that interface, the cost, what the learning curve is, like who on your team is going to use it. Are they going to be able to adopt it? Taskade, I love it, but there are some people I wouldn't recommend Taskade for because it is the learning curve is a little hard sometimes. Figure out how it's going to work with what you're currently doing. Try not to get lost and overwhelmed because there's so much to do. You don't have to implement everything at once. Just taking one tiny step at a time is helpful. And you can also hire somebody to help you identify the right thing. Who could you hire? I don't know. Me. Okay, so here's the free resource guide, you guys, if you want a list of all of the tools. If you scan that QR code, it'll get emailed over to you. It's just a sheet with all links to all of the things that we talked about today and a quick little, like, this is what we talked about that it does. And then that's it. That's it. How was that? I know it was a lot. It's a lot to go over in a short amount of time.
It was awesome. Oh
Good.
my gosh, you guys.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you.
We haven't had anybody come in and actually show us how to do the prompts, so this was really helpful.
Yeah.
We had somebody in January come and speak that did a great overview, but Anthony's like, boy, I think there's some opportunity here for the audience to really see what the prompts look like.
Yeah.
And for those of you who have not used it before, are you just like, wow, okay, this doesn't look, I can do this. Like, just be brave and try it out. This is like the industrial revolution. It's the AI revolution. So that you guys, this is so cutting edge. And you hear about it in the news all the time. Like, companies are spending billions of dollars, like, trying to get AI into their businesses, and they're going to have to make it work. Like, so these free AI tools are going to go away one of these days, and they're all fighting to be top dog right now. So like, Microsoft is huge because they can take, like, the background from Outlook and all of our interactions. So it's having that data is just big. And I think Facebook might be working on something.
Facebook has one as well. Oh, who hates that they took away our search bar in Facebook and Instagram, right? And now it's like Meta AI. But they're all like, this is a race. There's no option to be an ostrich and stick your head in the sand. It's just not an option. You have to start using them because somebody who is using them will replace you.
Yeah, it's a dogfight right now. Who's going to make it to the top? Like, which company? And I know, everybody's got an opinion about Elon Musk or not, but he's been really cool because he's like this open AI. We have to make sure that we have some boundaries on this stuff because it could be very dangerous. And he's like fighting with some people in Silicon Valley about it. Like, hey, you know what? I think it's the guy from Google. They're kind of in a little bit of a fight. Like, he's like, you've got to have some boundaries. This could really be dangerous. So it's very interesting.
And it's moving so incredibly fast. There are more than 100 new AI apps every single day released, brand new. I follow, like, I go to a website, part of my morning routine, and I'm like, what's new out there today? And kind of take a look and see if there's a business use case that I've been looking for that's solved out there. But it is moving so fast, it's hard to keep up. I remember giving myself a hard time. We all give ourselves hard times, right? Saying, oh my gosh, like, I feel like I can't keep up. I feel like I don't know enough. And then that day I was listening to a podcast from the Marketing AI Institute, and they were like, oh my gosh, it's moving so fast. We feel like we can keep up. So if you're feeling behind, don't worry, everybody feels a little behind. And being here today is a big step in getting to the next spot, which is starting to adopt it and build it into your workflow.
Definitely. So just, go out. If you haven't done it, go just try ChatGPT and ask it. Like, one of the great prompts I thought I told you this morning was Rick Jansen that did this in stories. Like, I was in Oregon. I have 3 kids. I want they want some other things. I put it into one of the search engines and just said, how can I spend my the next 2 hours in Bend, Oregon, or whatever. I need beer. I need entertainment for 10-year-olds. He's like, I didn't know that would work. It was so cool. So anything maybe with, check that out. I also read a really interesting thing. Like Scarlett Johansson's really been in the news because OpenAI guy Sam Altman is like, Scarlett, will you be the voice for us? And I was reading last night. She's like, no, I said no because of my kids.
Yeah.
Like, how weird would it be in the future your mom to be the voice of OpenAI? But anyway, so
She was in that movie where she was an AI.
Yeah.
It was called Her, I think.
yeah. So I just thought that was interesting. But then they did a voice, and they're like, she's like, I think suing them. She's like, it sounds too much like her.
Yeah.
So it is weird. Yeah. Okay,
But-
so we have your tools. If we want more training, we can go to
Yes.
Jillian, Mrs. What's her last name now?
McKee. My last name is McKee now. So you can find me on both. I'm leaving it because everybody knows me as Crandall, and I've been Crandall for 25 years. Like I'm leaving that kind of hyphenated situation. But you can follow me. This QR code goes to all of my contact info, so you can follow me if you download that little guide that I had on the last page. You'll have my email, so we can connect there. And if you are interested in any particular trainings, let me know, and I can make sure that I get you the training schedule.
Thanks, Jillian. And because of your presentation day, we're going to give you a 1-year free membership to our tour. So come back and see us.
Thank you. I love it.
Bring
Thank you so much.
Bring your husband.
No chickens. No, those chickens got to stay in the barn. They have been doing work. If you think it's easy, I promise.
Thank you so much. Hey, so next month we're going to be back. We've got one of our members recommended, Gabriella Parente, is this about the future of work to empower and retain your diverse workforce now and improve company culture now and years to come. So you can come back. We'll be here I think it's August 23rd. We also have our very famous Wicked Stick-It Croquet Tournament. It's our 16th year. And the prizes we're getting are amazing. Best hat, best dress. Of course, if you're a winner, we've got 4 $400 knives with the Wicket and Stick It logo engraved for the first and second place winners. Chef knives from US Knife Works. What else? Squeeze Massage has donated a couple massages. Boy, they just keep coming. All of the prizes are really, really good. And then our next business after hours is going to be electrifying because we're going to Lucid Motors at the Tracy Shopping Center. You get to see these snappy electric cars. So anyway, thank you, Jillian.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming today.
What a great way to start the day. All right, who's going to go home and or go back to the office and try something?
With you.